Hey plant people, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a topic that confuses so many aloe vera enthusiasts: the sun. Specifically, why that scorching afternoon sun can be a death sentence for your beloved aloe, even though it's a desert plant. We'll dive into the biology, the common mistakes, and most importantly, how to prevent your aloe from becoming a crispy victim of too much sun. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to keep your aloe thriving. It's a common belief, right? Aloe vera comes from arid desert regions, so it must love full, intense sun all day long. I mean, cacti bask in it, why not aloe? This is where the misconception begins. While it's true that aloe vera plants need sunlight to thrive, the type and intensity of that sunlight are crucial. Many sources recommend that mature aloe vera plants require 6 to 8 hours of bright, indirect sunlight daily. Some even suggest up to 4 hours of gentle direct morning sun. But there's a significant difference between gentle morning rays and the harsh blaze of the afternoon. Let's get a little scientific for a moment, but I promise to keep it simple. Plants use sunlight for photosynthesis, their way of creating food. But just like us, too much sun can be damaging. Aloe vera plants, while resilient, are particularly susceptible to the intense UV radiation and heat that comes with direct afternoon sun. When an aloe plant is exposed to excessive, unfiltered afternoon sun, several things happen. First, sunburn and cell damage. The intense UV rays can literally burn the plant's cells. This manifests as browning, red discoloration, or even black spots on the leaves. Think of it as a severe sunburn for your plant. These damaged cells can't perform photosynthesis effectively, leading to overall plant stress. Second, dehydration. Afternoon sun brings with it significant heat. This heat causes rapid evaporation of water from the plant's leaves. While some evaporation is normal, excessive heat leads to excessive water loss. Aloe leaves are succulent, meaning they store water, but even their reserves can be depleted quickly under relentless sun, leading to wilting and drying out. Third, stress colors. You might notice your aloe turning a reddish-brown or tan color. This isn't always a sign of impending doom, but it is a clear indicator of stress. The plant produces pigments to protect itself from the intense light, much like our skin tans. While some find this aesthetic, it means the plant is working overtime to survive, and prolonged stress can weaken it, making it vulnerable to other issues. So, what's the big deal with afternoon sun versus morning sun? It all comes down to intensity. The sun's rays are much gentler in the morning. As the day progresses, especially from noon to late afternoon, the sun rises higher in the sky, and its rays hit the earth more directly and intensely. The heat generated during these hours is far more damaging to aloe vera, which evolved to grow under the canopy of larger plants or in filtered light in its natural habitat, not baking in direct, unfiltered desert sun all day. Even if your aloe is outdoors, placing it where it gets morning sun and then shade in the afternoon is ideal. If it's indoors, a spot away from direct afternoon sunlight is key. How do you know if your aloe is suffering from sun stress? Here are the telltale signs. Browning or reddening of leaves. This is the most common sign. The leaves will start to turn a reddish-brown or tan color, especially on the tips and edges. Dry, crispy leaves. The leaves might feel unusually dry and brittle to the touch, rather than plump and juicy. Wilting or drooping. If the plant looks generally droopy or its leaves are collapsing, it could be a sign of severe dehydration from too much sun. Scorched spots. In extreme cases, you might see distinct brown or black patches, almost like burn marks on the leaves. Stunted growth. A stressed plant will put its energy into survival rather than growth, so you might notice it's not growing as vigorously as it should. The good news is, preventing sun damage is relatively easy once you understand your aloe's needs. First, choose the right location. If your aloe is indoors, place it in a spot that receives bright, indirect light. A north or east-facing window is often perfect, providing gentle morning sun. If you have a south or west-facing window, pull the plant back a few feet from the window, or use a sheer curtain to filter the intense afternoon light. If moving your aloe outdoors for the warmer months, choose a location with morning sun and afternoon shade, or dappled shade throughout the day. Avoid direct, unfiltered afternoon sun at all costs. Second, acclimatization is crucial. Never immediately move an indoor aloe directly into full outdoor sun. This is a shock to the plant system and almost guarantees sunburn. Gradually introduce it to brighter conditions over several days or even a couple of weeks. Start with an hour or two of morning sun, then gradually increase its exposure, always protecting it from the harsh afternoon rays. Third, provide shade. For outdoor aloes, consider using a shade cloth during the hottest parts of the day or positioning them under the canopy of a larger plant or a patio umbrella. Fourth, maintain proper watering habits. While aloes are drought tolerant, proper watering is still important, especially when exposed to brighter light. Ensure your plant has good drainage. Water thoroughly when the soil is completely dry, but don't overwater, as this can lead to root rot. A potting soil specifically made for cactus and succulents is recommended for good drainage. What if your aloe is already showing signs of sun stress? Don't panic. Here's what you can do. First, move it immediately. The first and most critical step is to move the plant out of the intense sun. Find a shadier spot with bright, indirect light. Second, assess the damage. Remove any leaves that are completely crispy, black, or beyond saving. Use clean, sharp shears. Third, water if dry. If the soil is bone dry, give it a good drink. Ensure water drains freely from the bottom of the pot. However, if the soil is still damp, hold off on watering to avoid root rot. Fourth, be patient. Aloe vera plants are remarkably resilient. With proper care and a better location, your plant should start to recover, though it might take some time for new, healthy growth to emerge and for the stress colors to fade. To wrap things up, remember these key points for a happy, healthy aloe vera. Bright, indirect light is best. Aim for 6 to 8 hours of bright but not scorching light daily. Avoid afternoon sun. This is the primary culprit for aloe damage. Acclimatize gradually. When moving plants, do it slowly to prevent shock. Observe your plant. Its color and texture will tell you a lot about its health. Good drainage is essential. This is crucial for all succulents, including aloe. By understanding the specific light requirements of your aloe vera, you can prevent common mistakes and ensure your plant thrives for years to come. It's all about mimicking their natural environment, which isn't always direct, blazing sun. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more plant care tips, and let me know in the comments below if you've ever battled sun damage with your aloe and what worked for you. Thanks for watching, and happy planting!